wealth, influence, and dominance. These were the hallmarks of one of the most powerful figures in history. He controlled the first billion-dollar company, oversaw some of the most lucrative industries, and on multiple occasions, the entire US economy hinged on his decisions. With a simple word or signature, he could either rescue a business from ruin or push it into bankruptcy. Revered by some, reviled by others, his legacy remains unparalleled. This is the story of his rise to power. Born into privilege in 1837 Connecticut, his father was already a prosperous banker who ensured he received the finest education. Despite his wealth, his early years were fraught with illness, frequently bedridden with severe coughing fits, headaches, and diseases like scarlet fever. He spent much of his childhood indoors, immersed in books and financial documents. At one point, text on this was a particularly debilitating fever led his father to send him to a remote island in the Atlantic, believing the air and climate might restore his health. Alone for nearly a year, he gradually recovered and returned to his studies,
eventually gaining an education in Boston, Switzerland, and Germany.
By 19, he was ready to begin his career. His first job, arranged by his father, was at a Wall Street firm representing a major London-based bank. His role included writing reports about the American market, still developing at the time. Yet his father often criticized his impulsive and bold decisions, such as a risky coffee purchase that, though profitable, upset his superiors. By 24, he ventured out on his own, setting up a business tied to his father's bank. Around the same time, he married his first love. Tragically, she fell ill shortly after their wedding and passed away just months later. Devastated, he poured himself into his work as the country faced the turmoil of the Civil War. Rather than join the fight, he paid to avoid conscription, a legal but controversial move. Still, he found ways to profit from the war, including a lucrative but contentious arms deal. These actions foreshadowed the bold and often polarizing choices he would make throughout his career. In 1871, he partnered with a prominent financier to establish a new banking firm. This venture marked the beginning of his lifelong control over a financial powerhouse that would shape industries and markets. At the time, railroads were fragmented with numerous companies competing fiercely. Rather than seeing competition as a problem, he viewed it as an opportunity. He consolidated smaller railroads into unified systems, streamlining operations and eliminating competition. This approach, which came to be known as Morganization, transformed the industry and solidified his influence. Unlike many investors who preferred a hands-off approach, he insisted on taking an active role in the management of companies he controlled. His consolidation efforts not only stabilized the industry, but also attracted significant investments, further expanding his wealth and power. By the height of his railroad acquisitions, he controlled 1/3 of the nation's railways, into cementing status as a leading force in the economy. At the turn of the century, the steel industry dominated manufacturing, with one company leading the market. When its owner expressed interest in selling, he wasted no time. He purchased the company for an unprecedented sum and merged it with other enterprises to form the world's first billion-dollar corporation. This deal gave him control over a vast portion of the steel industry, further solidifying his dominance. He didn't stop there. He played pivotal roles in the early development of electricity and telecommunications, helping to create and merge companies that would later become global giants. His ability to bring together competing businesses and turn them into dominant forces was unmatched. The late 19th century brought economic upheaval. A severe depression led to widespread financial panic, with banks collapsing and unemployment soaring. The depletion of gold reserves threatened the nation's monetary system. Without a central bank, the government turned to him for help. He quickly orchestrated a plan, rallying leading financiers to secure gold and stabilize the economy. Years later, during another financial crisis, he again stepped in. He gathered key banking leaders and devised a strategy to support struggling institutions. His decisive actions averted a deeper collapse, though they highlighted the immense power concentrated in one individual. And throughout his life, his bold decisions, unyielding control, and strategic vision reshaped industries and markets. And while some